Welcome to the first episode of the 2Cool4SchoolPsych podcast. I'm your host, Nafisa, a 14-year veteran in the field of school psychology, 17 if you count my practicum years, which I do count because that was certainly on the job training. But yeah, I'm a veteran in this field, an OG, if you will, an original goal setter. But welcome to 2Cool4SchoolPsych, where we will talk all things school psychology, minus the burnout, minus the pressure to be perfect, minus the martyrdom, but welcome. One thing you should know about me is that I take this job very seriously. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually a very unserious person. And that's really how the whole concept behind 2Cool4SchoolPsych was birthed. Being in the role of a non-traditional school psychologist, we tend to be boxed into a very rigid job description. Testing, report writing, IEPs is very rigid. Some of us have the benefit of counseling groups, crisis intervention, just several other things that people have been able to navigate in the traditional school setting. But for the most part, school psychologists are boxed in the traditional role. So the whole concept behind 2Cool4SchoolPsych is I don't really see myself as a person who can be boxed in. I do not like to be boxed in. I discovered over these years that there is no one way to be a school psychologist. And I'm not talking about those who are in a non-traditional role. I know that comes with its own challenges, but just in general, there's no one way to show up as a school psychologist. Yes, we have a very defined job role, but we are all individuals. Just think about the fact that on our very job, we are writing individualized education plans for our students. So you mean to tell me that our whole profession is based on figuring out what's unique about our students, how to educate them in a way that is specific to them? We individualize everything, but we are supposed to show up at work every day and fit into a box? I don't think so. I do not think so. I don't believe that. And that's the whole concept behind 2Cool4SchoolPsych. I really just feel like I'm too cool to be boxed in. I'm too cool to be sitting under a pile of paperwork. Yes, it is my job role, and yes, I'm going to get it done, but I'm so much more than that. So my whole goal is to empower school psychologists and other educators in general to show up as your authentic self. But remember that you get to choose how you show up. You get to choose what your role looks like for you. Yes, you do have to write IEPs. Yes, you will be testing. Yes, you do have to meet deadlines. You absolutely have to do all of those things that are in your job role. But you are no cookie cutter. You are you. And whatever it is that is unique about you is what you bring to this field. You are too cool to be boxed in. As long as we can show up and be effective and make sure that what we do is done in an ethical way, everything else is fair game. You get to bring your uniqueness to this field, and I feel like every school psychologist needs to learn that. I think that is the secret to being a successful school psychologist. Drowning in stress serves no one. It certainly does not serve you, but ultimately it does not serve your students. It does not serve your team. And I think that 2Cool4SchoolPsych has something that it can offer to school psychologists and other educators who find themselves in this situation. Let's be real. The job is hard. The pressure is real. The pressure to do it all is real. But so is your right to have firm boundaries. So is your right to prioritize your well-being. And so is your right to create systems that will allow you to thrive in this job role. I stumbled across an article in my email. I'll have to go back and find it because I do not remember who did the article. But it was done back in 2022, and it said that 44% of teachers always or often felt burnt out. Let's not pretend that school psychologists are immune to that same burnout. We are not. The field of education is very, very interesting right now. And a lot of people who are in this field are feeling this level of burnout. School psychologists in particular are often isolated, carrying high stakes responsibilities, expected to be legal experts, testing specialists, mental health providers, and problem solvers all in one. No one person was built to carry that level of responsibility, to carry that amount of pressure without a proper system of support. So the 2Cool4SchoolPsych podcast and brand at large is all about minimizing stress and maximizing impact. You will have legally defensible IEPs without staying at work until 7 p.m. You'll be able to write strong reports without second guessing every word or feeling like you have imposter syndrome. You can advocate for your students while maintaining a life outside of the school. If nothing else, you will know your role and you will stay in your lane without feeling guilty. And no, every episode on this podcast is not going to be about venting. We will not be venting and, crying about all the stuff that's wrong. We know what's wrong. We know. But we do want to provide some level of support. So we can talk about best practices. We will certainly talk about law and ethics. That's literally my favorite part of this job. Well, my second favorite. My favorite part is the students. But I love to have a clear understanding of what the law says and what's ethical and what's unethical. I'll share tips for testing, organization, saving time, life management, time management. Of course, I'll have real life stories from the field because, again, I've been here 14, somewhere between 14 and 17. I've been here so long. Trust me, I have stories. But it's not about venting. It's not about complaining. I'm not a complainer. I do not enjoy complaining. I'm very solution focused. We can have mental health check-ins. We can set goals. We can plan. We can figure some stuff out. But we will not wallow in our self-pity. We will not do that. But more than anything, I just want to survive. I want to help you guys survive. I want you guys to have actionable steps. I want us to figure it out together. I don't want this just to be a me show. I want to see 2Cool4SchoolPsych grow into a healthy community of other school psychologists and other educators supporting one another. And whether you're new to the field or almost 15 years in like me, I want to make sure that we all feel seen, that we all feel heard, and that we all figure out who we uniquely are and show up in that way day after day after day. I honestly wish that this was something that we spoke about in graduate school, that you do not have to become a martyr in this high-stress job. It is a high-stress job, and that was not talked about enough. But over these years, I have learned to show up in excellence without exhausting myself. Y'all see my little ponytail. But yeah, so if this is you, if this speaks to you, I hope that you hang around. So I don't know where the button is down there, but subscribe, like the video, share it, leave me a comment. Let me know that you've been here, that you've listened. Let me know if this is something that's interesting to you. Let me know, y'all. I want to be a support. I want to be the support that I needed when I first started this field, and the support that I still need, honestly. So welcome to 2Cool4SchoolPsych, and I hope y'all stick around.